Hi, welcome back to Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and I'm joined by good friend J. Mark Walker, Vice President of Client Development of Integrity Solutions, LLC. And this is our second segment. And I'm so excited to have you on as a guest, Mark, like I mentioned before, because we've had a lot of experts come and talk about business building principles, things like establishing a vision for your company and so forth. But where you come in is if a company has a great vision statement, are they training their staff to go out and talk about their vision? And is that message consistent? And what you do is you train a company's staff to make sure everybody's on the same page, they're motivated, they're excited, and they're just out there with excitement, sharing the company's goals and selling for that company.
Right.
So I've seen Mark firsthand do some of these seminars and do more of a long-term process is what you do.
Yeah.
So you can definitely hire Mark to come out to your sales organization. So Mark, we're talking. You mentioned here water cooler talk, and what do you mean by water cooler talk and so forth?
Well, there's two dimensions to that. The first dimension is that what do people talk about when they're standing around the water cooler or the coffee pot? Are they complaining? Are they moaning about the latest layoff or some other issue that's bothering them? Management never listens to us. In difficult economic times like we're experiencing right now, very often the primary focus of employees on a day-to-day basis is what's the status of the layoff situation? And am I next? Are you next? What we really want them to think about all day long is how they can leverage their skills, abilities, and their knowledge to create value for the customer. And ideally, that would be what they talk about at the coffee pot. So if you can create the environment that says, hey, we're making the investment in you, and we're cutting our cost over here in this area. Maybe we don't have free coffee anymore, but now we do have a job for you. So would you, here's the things that we want to do to bring value to our customers, to meet those needs that the customers have, and that includes training.
So your goal as the owner of your business is to make sure if you had a microphone in the water cooler area, you would want to hear your staff talking about the benefits that they're bringing to the clients versus being nervous about being laid off. And if they're focused on these principles, then they're going to be motivated to go and sell for you and sell for your company and help you succeed in your business. Your next principle here is build people to build business.
Right.
What do you mean by this, Mark?
A friend of mine uses that as a slogan. Actually says, if you build your people, they'll build their business. And I really believe that's true. And you mentioned vision earlier. One of the most important things that a business owner can do, even if they only have one employee, is to make sure that that person understands this is what we're in business to do. And these are the people we do it with the best. And once the employees understand who our customers are, what our ideal customer looks like, and what it is that we can do for them, and what our values are in dealing with those customers, then you can give them the authority to make the decisions to make that kind of thing happen. I have a perfect example. A couple of years ago, I had to have one of my cars towed in. And that particular automobile had a history of needing that. And the guy at the insurance company saw that I'd had 2 other occasions that year. And I said, where do you want me to fax the towing bill? Because I have towing insurance. And he said, oh, Mr. Walker, you have hardly ever used this service until this year. Just tell me how much it is and I'll send you the check. Now, somewhere in his organization, this is a big company, somebody had given him the authority to make that decision. Now, how do you think that made me feel? I felt special. I felt like I was somebody that they trusted. And so the guy sent me the check. I got it in about 3 days. It wasn't a lot of money, but the idea that they trusted me so much that they believed what I said, and he implied that in his very demeanor. That's what I mean by giving them authority. And then another one is teaching them how to create value, and his company did that in that case. They taught him what to say. And it was a very simple process. But what is it that we do in our organization to create value for our customers? And one of those is how we treat each other. And if I'm always giving you a needle, and I'm always talking behind your back or complaining about you to other people, or worse yet, to the boss, how is that going to make you feel? Are you going to feel like cooperating with me the next time that we have an endeavor that we're trying to do together? It's not likely. And then the last point about building up your people is to get them involved in the solutions. So in this particular economic environment, for example, if costs are a big issue, one of the most important things you could do would be to sit down with your people and say, okay, here is what we're trying to accomplish. Here are some of our cost issues. Where do you think we can save some money? There's a fellow a few years ago named Jack Stack, and he wrote a book about open book management. And essentially, he got his employees together once a month and showed them the balance sheet, where all the costs were and everything. He bought a failed automobile engine remanufacturing plant, and in less than a year made it into a huge profitable enterprise and started paying people based upon their profitability. So when people get involved in the solutions, they're often far more engaged, and they can come up with cost savings that sometimes the owner just overlooks.
In our next segment here with Mark, we're going to kind of go into some of the more of the tips and tricks that you can share with us. These are just amazing principles that you need to hear and understand. A lot of times I think we focus on how cool our website is, or how neat our logo can look, and those are important elements to your business. But I really love having you on as a guest, because it's our sales team and it's our message. Even as business owners ourselves, we need to go out into the network marketing groups and be able to learn some skills to draw in business. So we'll be right back with Mark in just a little bit.